Hi, I'm Annie, and today I'll be cleaning floors. Yay! Come join me as I try out this new product. I'm getting ready to test out the Temple's Pride dust mop, and it's more than a dust mop. They say it's a wet and dry mop. This couldn't have come at a better time. My mother-in-law is on her way here, and the spot under my couches needs help, and I'll show you in a minute, but first let me show you the product here. Nice aluminum handle. This comes packed up, pretty small, but watch to see how long this handle can get. It telescopes in two separate sections. Once you've got it as high as you want it, you simply screw it into place, screw it until it tightens. Look at that thing. So you can get it pretty tall. Here we have our Velcro. So I think what I'm going to use, oh goodness, see, I have not learned them all. I think this one's going to be for dry dusting. This one might be for wet scrubbing, and this one for intense with grout scrubbing. But, because this one is super soft, like lamb soft. This one it's soft, but with more of a grippy texture to it. I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, I'm going to go this direction, like so. Now here is my floor under the chair, and I have some wonderful stuff under this couch too, where the vacuum doesn't reach for long enough that the dust becomes a little bit more heady. But right here we've got good lighting, so we'll stick with this. Rather than use a broom to kick the dirt around and get it up in the air, I just vacuum my hard floors. But the vacuum is not going to get the fine dust that collects under the furniture very well. So I always have to do that by hand. I think this is going to make a world of difference. But first I'm going to do a pass with the vacuum just to see. And now a pass with the dust mop. Wow, that was too easy. It's funny, you never know what you're missing out on until you try a different tool. My vacuum can never do this, so I always have to try and pick this thing up and move it. I wonder how many people are wondering how long it took me to figure out that if it's a dust mop, I could dust and mop at the same time. Well, I figured it out as soon as I finished, so there. Now, on to tile. I'm going to try this one out. Usually what I'll use is a steamer on my tile, but I don't feel the steamer actually touches the grout at all. And, well, it's hot. Some of you might still use the old bucket and mop, so let's see how this would work if that were the case. No bucket, no mop, just a slightly damp pad. Spot gone. That was tea, by the way. My son can't seem to pour tea without wearing it on the floor. It was probably a couple of hours old, so it was definitely dry. Are there any other stains my lovely son would have left for me to clean for you? He has not been as generous today. What is up with that? Usually I would bring the steamer out for that. Just squeezing a little water onto this pad was so much easier than lugging out the steamer. Yeah, I can see this being an all-around tool. It does the same job as a lot of my others, but with no cord attached to it, which is a big thing because I hate bending over to plug things into the outlets. I don't think it's ever going to disinfect as well as my steamer will, you know, heat. Well, that's if I were to hold the steamer in place for, what, 20 seconds they say, which I don't, so maybe that's not even the case. So no disinfecting properties unless I spray something on the floor, but it gets right up there. My steamer doesn't seem to hit the edge quite perfectly. So clean edges. Wow. I only wet it once, but do you see that? It just stayed forever and it cleaned. It really did clean. One thing I absolutely love is that they put the rough side of the Velcro on here and not here. So this won't be catching anything. This is all completely smooth and soft feeling. So it won't damage anything in the laundry, including itself, as I've had some pads do. The two things that are very different for me, at least, from my experience in cleaning, is not walking into the path. In other words, I'm cleaning and I'm moving forward. Usually when I use a cord, I can just move forward and then back up or whatever. Here, I actually have to figure out where the path is. I haven't had to do that in a long time because I haven't used a mop in a long time. The other thing is, because I am vacuuming and mopping in one easy sweep, let's see if I can do this with my toes. Ta-da! Because I am vacuuming and mopping in one easy sweep, then I also have to kind of cup it to pick up the extra, which is not an issue at all. I mean, obviously it comes up pretty well, but not something I'm used to. Everything else, loving it. I'm loving the fact that I don't have to rely on a cord. I don't keep changing out the cord, and the floors actually look shinier. And I'm ready to rinse this off and let it dry for the next day. Well, I hope that showed you this product well enough to help you decide if this is something you need to pass on or if something that's actually going to work for you. As always, the link to the product is going to be down in the info box below.